Hello, welcome to another episode of learning how to design amazing websites with Ozumba Victor. So, the last video I uploaded, I was talking about I think where I left off was the difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com. And I think I said something about the two of them not being exactly the same thing. Now, mostly the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.com is who is hosting the website. Now, in WordPress.org, like you have here, this is where mostly a lot of persons come to download or get the software, the app. If you look at this place, you see that it says that WordPress is open source software you can use to create a beautiful website, blog, or app. So what you do here is they have compiled the code, the application, that is the WordPress. So you could come here and click on Get WordPress. When you click on Get WordPress, it will give you the option to download the app. Then when you get here, you see download WordPress, the latest version. You could also download the tar or gz, but with this one would get you the zipped file, and then you can upload or install on your own hosting server. I've talked about hosting before, that when you get a domain name and get a hosting company, you can then design your website and they will host it for you on the internet. So with this, I told you that WordPress is a content management system. We've talked about that in the last class. So now, but when you come to WordPress.com, you don't actually download the app. This is actually, they will host it for you. They will do the installation and everything. All you do is you log in, you click on the get started, then you could sign up. If you notice, you see that it says that 36% of the web is built on WordPress. That is to show you how powerful WordPress is. Big sites like CNN actually run on WordPress. So if you have a good knowledge of WordPress, you could create very big and expensive websites. I'm sure that CNN's website, the cost of developing that website is nothing less than $1 million or thereabouts, and it was done with WordPress. So you could imagine what the kind of jobs you could get knowing how to use WordPress. But then I don't recommend this because here it's almost made it's strictly for bloggers. Mostly the people I see that use this is bloggers, and you notice, you see that it's a website builder. So like I told you before, you have a lot of limitations here. So there is nothing like having owning your own data. Like when you host your own website, then you get the WordPress. You could go to WordPress.org, download it, or you could install it via the hosting. In fact, all hosting companies, let me say most because I can't say all. Most hosting companies, they have the option of installing WordPress as an application. Then you can install it in your host server. So now the difference is quite clear. Here you download the app, that is WordPress.org. You download the app, you install it in your host, and then you start customizing it the way you want. But here you don't download anything, you just get started. Then they will ask you to pay for your hosting, or you could have a free hosting with them. If you have blogged before, you understand what I mean. All those that used blogger.com, when you go into Blogger, you just select a register for as a blogger, then you select a name for your website. Then your name will not be, say, ozumbatech.blogspot.com. Then you will see that they already have a template there, so you just drag and drop things and then change the text. So it's not really much. You can't actually have ownership of it. You don't own your data. Everything there is just static, it's just there. So you just edit it. But here, when you download from here, you go to your own hosting and do whatever you want there. But here you are dealing with what they gave you. So you can only just adjust a thing or two from what you are given. If you want to install a theme, like if it's in the free version, you can't even upload plugins or install a theme. So now, I think that is the major difference between the two. So who is hosting the site, and then what do they offer? Now, another thing I have to talk about, of course, we are done with understanding the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So now I'm supposed to talk about getting a domain name and a web hosting and then webmail and all that. But then I remembered this tutorial is meant to be free of charge. I'm not charging anybody anything, and I don't want anybody to spend anything in the course of this training. So as a result, I am not going to go into web hosting, because before you can get a host, you have to pay for it. Then of course the name registration. In fact, to get a domain and a hosting is going to cost you at least 7 to 8 thousand naira, and I don't want anybody to spend any money. I want everybody to participate in this class. So what we'll do is we'll go to wpjelly.com. So now WP Jelly is a website that is designed for you to actually work on WordPress. What you could do here is you could create a wonderful website here as if you actually have a host and a domain name registered. Then when you're done, you could host the website. Like when you're done with everything, you could then say, thank you very much, this is very nice, I now have a domain, I now want to host it. Then you can take it off here and host. You could also host with them. They also have a free version. Now the difference, why I prefer WP Jelly to WordPress.com, because this is almost the same thing as WordPress.com, but these guys, they have better templates, better themes, and better plugins. So in as much as they have a lot of limits and restrictions with respect to their free services, it is way better compared to that of WordPress.com. So I want us to follow in this video, because from now henceforth I'll be developing the site as we go. So I would want everybody to follow me as we do that. So I expect that after watching this video, or while watching this video, you could watch it and pause it. You should go to wpjelly.com. Meanwhile, I also advise you get an email address, because if you want to design a website for somebody, the first thing you should do is, of course, have an email address for the website. So let's go to gmail.com. So we'll click on sign in. For this class, I already created a new email address. So I'll just enter it here and then enter my password. Network is really frustrating this evening. I don't know what the problem is. Wow. Okay, finally. So now I'll enter my password. Wow, it's like when I open this site, I didn't actually complete. It's like I did not complete the verification process. So says 02805. Okay, so I'm sure everybody here has an email address. Then you could just use a random email address to learn this and test this. Okay, now we've logged into gmail.com. So that is our inbox. So what we'll do here is we click on get started, or we don't even need that. You could just come here and choose what we want. Well, it's already loading, so let's just wait a bit. Network is really slow today. I don't know what the problem is. Okay, now rather than clicking on get started, if once you come to wpjelly.com, you notice that once you scroll down, you see a lot of templates here. We have business inclined, we have online store, we have food and drinks, we have health and medical. Then you could just go to all and select any template. And if you look at it, you find out that there are amazing templates here. You could choose anyone to design your website. So now let's use this one. I think I like this. So it will then ask you to register for the site. So you could enter your full name and email address and click on sign up, or you could click sign up with Google. Now, because I am already signed in, because I am already logged into this website, into my Gmail, I would just easily enter the email I've started with. So I'll click on this, and then it's going to, okay, it has already authenticated. So wow, the internet is really slow today. Okay, now it has logged me into my dashboard. Now, if you used WordPress before, you should be mindful of this. Let's copy it out. They've given me a new web address. So now, and they gave me a username of Victor22 and then a password. So you should use this username and password to log into the site anytime you want to view the website. So here we are. We now have our own custom website. If you check up, if you ever logged into WordPress before, this is the default admin panel of WordPress. This is exactly what an admin panel of WordPress looks like. So you could just start doing a lot of things here. Now, if you check this place that says Victor Ozumba, that is my name, the name I gave to Google while I was opening my Gmail. So if you check this place now, you see visit site or visit store. So when we open this in a new tab, you will see that they've already prepared my website for me. They've done everything, but it's with a demo. So if you check it out now, you see you have a very wonderful website there. Everything fully designed. So all I have to do now is start editing it, setting it the way I want, removing what I want and replacing it with what I don't, or rather replacing what I don't want and with what I want. So as you can see, it's fully well designed and also very much responsive. So when I drag it down to the mobile view, you'll see that everything has aligned itself normally. Like the menu has disappeared and it's now like this. So this is what it will look like on mobile. And if you noticed, this particular block, it was 3 before. It was 3 when I was on the desktop view, but now on the mobile view, wait, you see as we are dragging it closer, it's changing view. So this is what it means for a website to be fully optimized or to be responsive. So WordPress is a very responsive environment. If you check, you see that we've gotten an email from WP Jelly, our login details. So it's also sent to the email. So what we can do with this is we'll now edit with Elementor. This is a very wonderful plugin. It's one of the best one of the best page building plugin I've seen so far. It's currently the best. So even if you are building your website off wpjelly.com, if assuming you had money for live hosting and you wanted to host it yourself and then do this, you could also just get this plugin. Now, this is what the front page looks like. So I could change this website into anything I want. Now, let me show you. For instance, this is the slide, the first section will meet in the website after the menu bar. So what I could do here is I could change this. I could also change the background image. Let's say assuming I was going to build this website for, okay, let's say Senator Uche Ekunife. Then, if you notice, this particular heading is very easy for me to edit. Once I click, you double click on it, you notice that something comes up here. There is a text area where you could easily just edit. If you delete anything, it reflects here. And then we could change the size. We could make it small, medium, big, leave it on default. We could change the heading from H1 to H2. And then we could align this. As you can see, it's aligned center now. If I align it left, it will align to the left. And if I align it right, it will go to the right. If I keep it justified, it will be aligned to the left but centralized. But we would want it to be centered. And then we could do a lot of things to it. If you go to styles, and then typography, you could change the font if you wish. Like I could use, for website fonts, I normally like fonts like Roboto. Okay, yes, Roboto is nice. Then there's Lato too. Yes, Lato is nice too. So you can see the font is changing, but I think I prefer Roboto here. We even have Times New Roman, but I won't really advise you to have a website, a title of a website running on Times New Roman. It's not very nice. Then we could increase the size or decrease it. So we could make this big. And then the font weight, we could make it more bold, or we could make it less bold. So you could just mess around with this, play around with this, and then get to understand a lot of things, how things work. You can have the line spaces, you can increase the line spacing, you could decrease it. So if you have used Microsoft Word before, this Elementor should be very easy for you to understand and make use of. Then the text color, assuming I didn't want white, I could just select blue, or choose from the colors here, any color of your choice. Yeah, but I kind of like that white, so I'll leave it on white. We also have text shadow. You could make the text blurry. I don't know if you're seeing you're seeing the shadow moving right now. So if I increase it, it becomes more blur, like you don't see it. Then if I leave it at 0, you could see the text here behind the shadow behind. So you could just bring it out a bit. Yeah. So now if you look closely, you notice that there is a shadow there. So let me use a color on the shadow so that it actually comes up. Okay, yes. Now you've noticed, you've seen the shadow very well. So that is that about the heading. And then assuming I don't like any of this block, any of this, you could just right click on this and say delete, and you see that one, we've lost it. Likewise this button, let's just delete this button, say delete. So I could just have Senator Uche Ekunife here, and if I want something else here, say like a button, I could just select a button from here and drag it in here. So here is the button. So we could, and once you select any element here, the attributes of the elements will pop up here so that you could start editing it. Now, in this particular website, we have a lot of pages, web pages here. We have the home web page, the one we are currently editing. We have the about us page. We have properties, and under properties, we have property listing. We have single agent. We have the contact us page. So, assuming I want to keep a button that when you click, it will take you to the contact us page or the about us page. That is where this link comes to play. And the sweet thing about Elementor is that it takes into consideration the web pages inside your website. Like if I wanted to link this to the about us page, if I just start typing about, it will suggest this. Do I want to link about us page or sync page? And if I select about us page, it will put the web address, that is the URL of about us page. I'm sorry about that. In our introductory video, I talked a lot about domain name. While I was talking about the domain name, I think I mentioned something about the URL, the unique resource locator. That is what points you to a particular web page or a website. So this is the URL of the about us page. So that is that for this button. Then we could also align the button center. We could mess around, we could do a lot of things to the button. Like it says click here, I could just say learn more. Sorry about that. Say learn more. Now I could change the button to whatever color or whatever kind of button. Info, you see the color it changes. Danger should be red. Yes, warning should be orange, and then success is green. Then we could even still do more. When we go to the styling, we could still change, add a shadow to it like we did to the other one. You could just come here, mess around and see a lot of things, what all this could do. So like the background color, we could also have a classic background color. Change it, instead of selecting that particular either success or whatever, you could just select any random color you want. So there is that. I think I like this one. Okay, and then the text color is white. You could also change the color from here. You could make it black, but like that white color, so that because the background is already dark, the white will actually come out very well. It's the black will actually kind of reflect the white color, so I like it like this. You could choose whichever color you want. So then typography, of course, the font, you could increase it with the button or decrease it, set it to whatever you want. I think we should leave it at 20. The weight could make it bold. Transformation, you could change the text into upper or lower text. Now that is that about this button. So then another thing is, if you notice, there is a background image here, and then there is something after the image. It's called an overlay. An overlay is having either a color or having a layer, having to place a layer over a particular section, probably an image. So like this image now, there is a shade of black that is over it. That is why this text is very much highlighted. That is why we can see the text very much. So when you click on this particular section, like this now, this is a section, the whole section. So when I click on edit section, and then I come to style, yes, you can see the image. Then when you check here, you see background overlay. Yes, yeah, there it is. So now this is the opacity. If I should reduce this, just watch, you see that it's brightening now. And then if I should increase it, it's darkening. That is the overlay that is covering that particular the picture. Not actually covering it anyway, but it's being laid over the image so that the contents atop the image could be highlighted and seen very well. So the shadow is somewhere up, is on 180 degrees. So assuming I wanted to adjust that, if you notice now it's moving. So but I'll leave it at 180 so that it comes from up down, all the way up. And then you could select the type. If you are good with graphics, you understand this, both linear and radial. Radial is somewhat circle. So you've noticed that it's coming from here and spreading wide. But then I think it's better in the linear. Yeah. So for the background, here is the image. Now I wanted to build this with Senator Uchiku. I think I have an image of her. So now, when you click on this, assuming I want to change this background image, if I click here, it will ask me to either upload an image or select from the media library. Now, the media library are all the images you uploaded before by yourself. Like if you noticed, when I selected this template comes with a lot of images. So they've all been uploaded for us already. But if I don't want to use this, I have my own. I could just come here and say select files, then I'll head over to documents. Okay, yeah, we'll check on if so here I have a picture of the senator, so click on open, and then it's going to upload the image of course. Then once it's done with the upload, I could insert it into media. So there it is, insert into media. Now you notice that the image has come here. So the position, I'll have to set it to top center. Oh no, still too much. Yeah, center looks nice. Oh no, let us use, even in the auto it's still repeating. Oh, then notice that the size is small, so let us use custom. So here now we could increase or decrease the width to suit the way we want. So when it's on custom, we could push it until it's there. I think this is nice. And this is better. Okay, so that is that about that particular place. Now here we could change this. We could even get rid of this. We don't need this. And then here we could change this. I could have joined the campaign here. And here, voice of the people. That looks nice. Here we could say child welfare. So that is that. Then here we could of course edit the text. It's just the same thing over and over. And then we could change this icon here. When you click on that, you could change the icon. Select whatever you want. We have a bunch of icons here that is from Font Awesome. So let's just put the user icon. Yeah, that is the icon. So now we could put it in a frame. Now let's make the frame circle. So now we could then add color to the icon to make the icon appear. So you could just mess around with this. You've seen how we added this block. You could add whatever you want. Then featured property, like we don't need this, we could delete this. Agents, okay, so we could leave this. And here it's time to own a new home for a better style. I think I like this thing. Could come and say extension. So now we could come here, have whatever we want, and still you could change this image as well. As showing how to do that, you just edit the section and change the section image. So that's that about that. And then whatever you don't want, you could get rid of. Now after all this, like let's say I don't want this section, and then I want another section. Say I want to have my own, like having to bring all this up by myself, because if you noticed, all these ones we have here, we're just editing them. You just have to come here and click on add new section. It will then ask you if you want a full width section or a section that is divided into 2 or 3, like the one we have here. Like this is 2, this is 3, this is 3. So you could have anything you want. Say I want a single section here. Then we could come to this guy and drag and drop whatever we want. We could drag a video here. So it will post a random link from the YouTube. So you could just change it and have your own link, or self-hosted. Then it will ask you to upload a video. Of course, you go to your media library and choose a video. But then let's just, for the sake of this demo, for the sake of this tutorial, let's just select the one it gave us from YouTube. Then you could set the video to autoplay, so that whenever the person comes into the page, the video will start playing by itself automatically. So you could also set it to autoplaying. In mobile, you could set mute. Then you could set loop. Loop means it will keep playing. At the end of the video, it will start all over again and keep playing, so it doesn't stop. You could just mess around with all this. It also has an image overlay, so you could select an image, so that whenever it starts playing, you get rid of the image. Then you could set it to light box, so that whenever the person comes there and clicks on it, a box pops up rather than just playing the video on the page. Then when you click outside or click on the X, like when you click on this X or click outside the video, it will get you back to the page. So you could pretty much you notice that you could pretty much do a lot with this. Then that is for a video. We could drag a lot of things here. Let me see, text editor. Okay, yes. So here is the text editor up here. So you could, I just duplicated the text to make you see how you could have your own customized text here. So once you're done with this, you click on update and wait for it to load. So now it has updated. Now if we go back here and view our website, you will now notice the difference. So as you can see, this is now what the website looks like. And if you click on the video, it pops up. So as you can see, I'm not actually doing much. I'm not actually trying to make this a very wonderful professional website. I'm just trying to create a demo. And then for this particular menu, this is called the menu. It's a space in the header with links. So now for this menu, assuming we don't want all this, we could just go back to our dashboard. Okay, then you go to appearance, then the menu. Okay, then this is the for the top menu. If you notice, this is the main menu. That is this particular place. Oh, I should open it in a new tab. Okay, let me just open this in a new tab so that when I'm explaining, you get to understand what I'm saying. So now, if you noticed, this is the main menu. So that is this one that is checked, and these are the links there. So what I can do is I could remove this. I don't know what the problem is. I'm trying to click it and it's not actually responding. Okay, I think these 3 pages are okay. So after that, I'll save it. Now when I reload the page, now you notice that you just have 3 pages here: the home, the about us, the contact page. I think this is nice. This is just all I need. So that is that for the menu. Then the next thing I would like to show you is we could go to customize. From customization, you could actually edit the theme. That is the template we're using for this website. So we could actually edit the template from customize. And then here we could go to the header. I already showed you the header. The header is the same place that the menu is located, where the menu lies. So now we could change the logo of the website. Because if you notice, the website, it just has a link that says Victor Ozumba, and we don't want that. So let's select this logo. Okay, finally. So now it's asking me to crop the logo. You could crop it if you wish, but most times, if it's a custom logo, I just skip cropping. But you could click crop if you choose to. So now if you notice, it's going to change the logo here now. Wow, now that is really large. So what we could do is we could set the width to whatever size we want. That looks fair. Okay, that looks fair. That is nice. Then if you notice, there is a little desktop icon clicked here, shown here. If you click on it, you will see the tablet view and then the mobile view. So you could also increase or decrease the size. Like this looks very big for the mobile view. So for the mobile, I'll have to set it to maybe 35, 40. I think that is okay. Yeah, this is nice. Then for the tablet, it's okay like this. Then for the desktop. So that's that. Now we've added a logo to the website. And then our site also, after that, you should always click publish so that the settings will be saved. So what we could do is we could add a footer here. If you notice, there is no footer here, so we could come here, click enable footer button. So it's trying to add footer here now, and you'll see copyright C 2020, all rights reserved. So you could also have designed by Ozumba Victor. Then of course you could change the background color if you wish, the text color, the link color. We've been through this before, so and you could show it on all devices or hide it on any of the device you want. So of course you'd want to leave the credit and the copyright protection, so you want to give credit to yourself. Okay, so that is pretty much that about that. If we now go back to our website and click on this, you will now notice that it's now more beautiful and also has a footer. Now this is still showing up because we are still on the WP Jelly, so you don't mind this. Assuming we are on our own domain, you won't be seeing this. So another thing we should be very much mindful of is permalinks. Permalinks is the way your URL will appear, like the pages. Already we know that for this particular website we're building, the URL of this website, the domain name actually is wpjelly.com/victor22. So that is the website. Now I always recommend you use post name. In a default WordPress you will see date and name. Yeah, this is what it looks like, but you should always leave it like this, so that if it is a new page you have wpjelly.com/victor22/ the name of the page, so that if we go to about us page, for instance, like check this out now, you see that the next thing you see here is about. It makes more sense like that. So we could also use Elementor to edit this about us page. You've seen how to use Elementor. We've been through that before. So you could edit all the pages. Now I've done that for the front page. So in our next video, we'll be covering the contact us page. I will be touching that. So, but now I would want you to play around. I would like every one of us to build their own and post the link to their website, so that we'll go and check it out and see who has better graphics skills. So thank you very much, and please remember to subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you.